Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. We are continuing our original Dungeons & Dragons campaign here, solo campaign, using outdoor survival and chainmail. The wolves of Meeple have entered the cockatrice lair, and they're basically just looking for them at this point. We're going into turn 4. They can move, again, a total of 12. They're heading in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're going to end up here. The turn ends. And basically what we're at is no monster. We've got 2 more turns left in our torch. We can move 1 more turn before we have to rest. And we're basically where we are. So again, the party decides they're going to keep going. They can move again. There's no wandering monster check this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to put them right at this corner, which is probably good for them, actually, because, again, they remember that the door was down there. That's where they're headed. At the end of the 5th turn, they stop. They have to rest now on the 6th turn. So I'm going to reset this. They've burned 1 torch so far. And used 1/4 of the lantern fuel. So I put that down there to note that. They're resting for the 6th turn. I'm going to roll to see if they have an encounter at the end of this turn. They do not. All right, so they sit down, contemplating their plan. The magic users are getting a little nervous maybe with the having to do this. But, you know, one must do what they must do. Now, coincidentally, they're right near a secret door. And an elf in OD&D, if you use the optional rule, which I do, automatically can sense a secret door on the roll of 1 or 2. This is pretty much how I'm doing secret doors in this solo play. I'm not actually having them search for them unless they're in a spot where they just can't go any further. And if the elf just sees it, then they see it. If not, then I'm not going to have them go, ooh, they're going to search. 6, they do not. Okay. So they don't notice that secret door there. And here we go. Turn 1 of the second hour in the dungeon. I'm flipping that first. I'm going to remove that. They can move to the door. That's only a half a move, really. They can listen, and they're also going to be able to open the door. They think the cockatrice are in there, but they're going to listen first just to make sure if they hear anything. Same as before. I got a 1 for the human. They hear something. I got a 1 for the black, which was the elf. So they do hear something if there's something in that room. So let's see. Is there something in the room? On a roll of 1, 2, or 3, there will be something in the room. And if there is something there, it will be the cockatrice. Yes. Okay. There's cockatrice in the room. They hear them. So there are 8 cockatrice in this lair. I'm going to roll a d8 to see how many are in this room, just so I know, and then we're going to try to open the door. 5. Oh boy. Okay. All right, so they've got their plan. What they're going to do is, they know there's a bunch in here. They know that last time the cockatrice chased them, which makes sense. So what they're actually going to do is, they're going to, I mean, this is a strategy, right? So I'm just going to wait, because if I open the door now, I don't have enough movement, because I'll use too much of my turn to be able to get too far back. But we do want to bottleneck them. So actually, that's probably not true. They're going to go, the magic users are going to set up like right there. And what's going to happen is we're going to bust the door open. And if we can open it, they're then going to run back. Now, once they bust the door open, if the cockatrice are not surprised, then I'm going to roll initiative, though, to see if they can get back behind the barriers before they can. Part of me is thinking they should just shoot at the cockatrice, but they've got a plan. They're going to stick to it. So they switch out. They get ready with their heavy crossbows. They like place them on the wall behind the barrier. They don't have any weapons in their hands. You know, they drop their maces to their sides or put their pole arm to the side. They're going to grab it as they run. And let's see if we can open this door. They're going to get an advantage on their initiative roll if they do open the door in 1 hit, which they do. Okay, so I'm going to give them 2 dice for their initiative. Even though they technically have enough space to move back, I don't know they have enough space, you know, time to like get there, turn the thing, you know, so cockatrices are pretty fast. So these 2 dice are going to be the initiative dice, as always. Bad guys, good guys. This is going to be an extra die I'm going to roll. If it'll count towards the good guys. Not total, but the highest die, basically. Oh my God. Both of the good guys' dice roll 1s. Bad guy die rolls 2. That is officially the end of this turn. No, this is actually the end of the first turn. That means that the cockatrice are going to actually run forward, and they're not going to get this thing closed before they get there. So they're not trapped back there, and they're not going to be able to shoot their bows because now they're going to be in melee contact, which is exactly what they did not want. Okay. That did not work out to their advantage. Bad dice. Okay, so the plan here is going to be, obviously we're in melee. We can try to break, but you cannot break from melee the first round you're engaged, right? If something's against you, you got to basically, fight it. So what we're going to do is the fighters, which were the ones that were forward, are all going to make attacks on a cockatrice. So they know they have to focus fire. There are 5 cockatrices. So just a reminder of how these cockatrices work. They only defend as light foot. So if we look at our chart, you might be saying, well, that's easy. Okay, but they require 4 simultaneous hits. That means in the same round to be killed. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. Again, 2 are fighting as heavy foot. 2 are fighting as armored. So I'm going to keep it separate. Usually I would do the majority, but since it's half and half, I'm going to actually do it as 2 separate rolls. So heavy foot versus light. 1 die per man, 5 or 6 hits. And again, they get a +1. Armored foot versus light. 1 die per man, 4 to 6 hits. So this is not terrible, but it's not great. All initiative is simultaneous, or all melee, I should say. So the cockatrice will also get to attack this round. They attack as light foot, which means that, and everybody here is armored. I guess the halfling's not. Let me just check. But again, because we have 3 armored and 1 heavy, I'm going to count them as armored. Light versus armored. 1 die per 3. So basically, the cockatrice, we have to figure out how many cockatrices can possibly attack at once. Normally with human size, I say 3, but I think all 5 cockatrices could attack. I mean, they're only chickens, right? But you see how 1 roll can really get you. Yeah, 4 light foot. Okay, so 4 times 5 is 20. So that means that the cockatrices are going to be, they have to divide that by 3 now, so 6. They're going to get 6 dice. They only hit on a 6, though. But for every 6 they get, they will take out one of these fighters. Oh, God. So the plan is to fight this first round of melee because the cockatrice closed on them. And then they're going to try to retreat. As I said, melee is simultaneous. So first of all, let's see if the party can kill any of the cockatrices. So this is going to be the heavy foot. Both of these dice need to be 5 or 6, and I get a +1. So basically 4 through 6. Okay, good. That's 2. Now here's the armored foot. Both of these dice need to be 4 through 6, but I get a +1, so effectively 3 through 6. No. One of them did not score a hit, meaning that no cockatrices go down. Now the cockatrices, on the other hand, are getting, again, 6 dice. Any of them would be kills, but they need 6s. No. That's 1. Okay. They got 1 hit/kill. 1, 2, 3, 4 characters, so it could be any of them. I'm going to roll a d4. That is number 4, so our halfling. In my game, when you if you have your hit dice are 1 + 1, or anything +1, you get a save if you go down. That save is a 1 on a d6. So if I get a 1 here, the halfling's alive. Did not. Okay, the halfling's down. That is not good for their plan. Halfling is turned to stone, sadly. The rest of the party is stabbing. Maybe that's the person who missed it. Actually, it wasn't, though. It was the polearm guy that missed. So everybody's stabbing at these cockatrices. They retreat back. Now, if I get initiative, I'm gonna roll here. If I get initiative, the fighters will be able to run back. Because remember, the magic users are already on the other side. The fighters will be able to run back behind the line, and the magic users will close the gate. And they will be able to proceed with their plan. If they lose initiative, then what's going to happen is a d6 worth of these cockatrices will get through before they close it. So here we go. Again, white and black. Oh, yes, okay. Party wins initiative. They move back just a little bit, and they close the wicker wall. The cockatrices cannot get through now. Okay, so here's where we make our move. They then pick up their heavy crossbows, and they're going to fire in on the cockatrice. All right. Again, the magic users can't... Well, actually, this elf can use a missile weapon as well. So let's look at our missile weapons and see if we can take out some of these cockatrices. See if our plan works here. By the way, each turn, or each round, rather, I'm going to give a small chance that a cockatrice can bust through, just because they're chopping away at it. I mean, they are magical chickens. They do have a chance. All right, so let's take a look first at what we got going on here. Heavy crossbow. Because again, they arm themselves with heavy crossbows. Heavy crossbow versus Lightfoot is 2 dice per man, 4 through 6 hits. So what we've got going on here is 2 dice, 3 dice, because they're in short range, so 1 die for the bonus for short range, so 3 dice. Both of these guys have a penalty on their dexterity, though, so they are 2 dice. So 3 dice, 2 dice. Let's do that first. I'll roll the first guy first. Again, I need a total of 4 hits against a single cockatrice to take it down. Oh, no, combat takes the full turn. So, all right, here we go. What would I say? 4 through 6s hit, and they can add 1 to one of these dice. Oh, okay. Well, it didn't really help them, but they got 2 hits. 2 hits against the first cockatrice. I'm going to go do that there. 1, 2. The second fighter with the heavy crossbow gets 2 dice. 1 more hit. And the third one gets 2 dice as well, with no hits. However, the elf also gets to shoot with the longbow. Longbow versus Lightfoot, 1 die per, same as it's 1 die per man, 4 through 6 hits. The elf is not a fighter though, so they have to get a natural 4 through 6. They got 6. All right, perfect. Okay, so 1 of the 5 cockatrices go down. And if you're wondering why I had to start over, it's because remember, it's simultaneous hits. That's what makes them very powerful, even though they're only Lightfoot. Now, again, it's the end of this round. I'm going to give a chance that they can get through. There's a 1 in 6 chance that one of them gets through. No. And that will get progressively more until 1 does break through. It'll be a 2 in 6, 3 in 6, etc. until 1 gets through, because they're trying to cut a hole. All right, that allows them, the heavy crossbows can only fire every other round. The magic users really can't do much. So we're basically going to have to wait around, which means they have another chance. 2 in 6 that one of them gets through. The elf could shoot, but they don't... it's not able to kill one, so it's not worth the arrow. No, they don't get through that round. And once again, we're going to shoot with the heavy crossbows. First guy gets 3 dice. Scoring 2 hits. Second guy gets 2 dice. Scoring 1 hit. Third guy gets 2 dice, scoring 2 hits, because remember, there's multiple cockatrices here. I don't think it's enough, but the elf's going to get a die, hits, and they can actually shoot twice. So I think if I get another hit, I can kill 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. No, I can't. Okay. So 1 more cockatrice goes down. And at the end of this turn, there's a 3 in 6 chance that 1 gets through. No, they do not get through. They're reloading their crossbows. So there's a 4 in 6 chance that 1 gets through. No. And we're now on to the next round. They're not quite at 50%, so they're not making a morale check there. They're still trying to cut through, because these are vicious little monsters. Okay, 2 hits from the first guy. They can add 1 to 1, so 1 hit. 1 hit. That takes it out. It's not even worth the elf shooting at this point, because he can't take out another one. All right, so 3 cockatrices are down. There's a 5 in 6 chance that 1 busts through this round. Yes, okay, 1 gets through, assuming they make their morale check, because obviously they, well, you know what? They're in a frenzy. They're not intelligent. You know, because if you think about chickens and, you know, terribly, I hate to even mention this, but, you know, how they have them fight. They do get into like I don't think they back down. So I'm going to say cockatrices are not going to back down at this point, because they're not showing an overwhelming force. If they had like thrown a fireball and killed 3 of them in 1 hit, I'd say yes, but at this point, no. So 1 gets through. Okay, that 1 getting through is going to attack somebody. So again, because they're armored foot, it's going to attack one of the fighters because they're up front. Because they're armored foot, the cockatrice gets 1 die, but if they roll a 6 on it, that character's dead. They do not. Okay, but remember now, there's that one cockatrice there, and that cockatrice is in, I guess technically in a melee. So I'm going to say, let's see, it's in a melee with one of these fighters. I'm going to say that takes them out of this part of the combat. Okay, the other fighters, technically now they've broken the line and they're touching, but really it's not. This is one of those, things you have to make a decision here, because technically you cannot shoot from within a melee, but there's one chicken attacking one person. I feel like that's not going to make that big of a difference. So what we're going to say is the other two can make their attacks. Let's just see who the cockatrice is on. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on this guy. All right. So that means the guy with 3 dice still gets to go. Scoring 2 hits. I get 2 hits every time. The guy with 2 dice gets to go. Oh, 4 through 6. So actually scores 2 hits. So 1 more goes down. I'm assuming it's the one outside of melee, obviously, because they can't shoot an arrow into melee. Okay, so here's where we have a situation. And again, the cockatrice is going to get attack again. Oh, God. All right, cockatrice rolls a 6. He's got to save. If I roll a 1, he survives. Yes! All right. I'm glad, too, because he had a magic shield. I didn't want to have to adjudicate that. Okay, cockatrice almost gets him, but he's alive. Is it even possible? I think everybody's going to jump on this one cockatrice to take it out, because they can't really do anything but that. So let's adjudicate this next round of melee and see what happens. Whew. All right. I'll do the cockatrice first because it's easy. Cockatrice gets 1 roll. They get a 6. They take out one of the fighters. Do you see that? No, but it's a 4. I just re-rolled it just to be safe. All right, so it's a 3. They don't take anybody out. All right. Armored foot, heavy foot, armored foot. So I'm going to do things in batches. We have 2 armored foot attacking the cockatrice. Again, the cockatrice is light foot. So if we remember, armored foot is 1 die per man, 4 through 6 hits, and both those guys get a +1. So let's see if we can get any hits. These are our most likely to hit. And we get no hits. Okay. He is heavy foot. He gets a +1. Again, that's a 5 or a 6. So I'm going to roll. Is there just 1 heavy foot? Yep. No, actually, the elf is also heavy foot with the a spear. So we have 2 heavy foots. I'll roll 2 of these. The black die will be the fighter, so he gets a +1 to it. Looking for 5s and 6s. Ha! All right. 2 hits. Now, there are 4 magic users. They're all fighting as Lightfoot. Lightfoot versus Lightfoot. 1 die per man, 6 hits. Now, in my game, as I've mentioned before, you can protect people. So the 3 fighters are protecting, which means that these magic users are not going to be able to be targeted for attacks unless the fighters go down first, because they're all in a group. So there's 4 of these guys. I only have 3 dice, so I'll just roll twice. So if I get 2 more 6s out of these 4 rolls, which is pretty unlikely, we will kill this cockatrice. Otherwise, we have another round of combat. No. Okay. Unfortunately, they did not take it out that round, so we're going to do another round of combat. I don't think they're going to retreat yet. Cockatrice attacks. Cockatrice attacks. 2 misses. Okay, party attacks. Again, 2 guys. That is 1 hit. Again, they need a 4 through 6. 2 guys with 5 through 6s. That's 1 hit. And then 4 people with only 6s. No. All right. Oof. Cockatrice goes again. Nothing. Party goes again. 2 guys need 4 through 6. And remember, they get a +1. Oh, God, they're fighting terribly. 2 guys need 5 and 6. Only the black die gets a +1. 1 hit. It's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely. If these 2 are both 6s, they got it. Oh, no. 2 4s. Oof. All right. Cockatrice goes again. 3. Does not kill anybody. 2 guys with armored foot. That's 2 hits. 2 guys with heavy foot. No. 4 guys with light foot. No. Okay. Cockatrice goes again. Oof. 2 guys with armored foot. Yes, 2 hits. 2 guys with heavy foot. 1 hit. So I got 4 dice I'm going to roll now. If any of these are 6s, we got the cockatrice. No. No. Oh, man. These things are not easy to beat. This chicken's flying around like a maniac. Here we go. Cockatrice attacks. Nobody. If somebody else from the party dies, this is probably going to be the end of this. All right. 2 armored foot guys. Ooh, 2 hits. We needed that before. 2 heavy foot guys. He gets +1, but it's not enough. Which means that basically all... No, I got to hit 2 more. 2 more 6s in... Yeah, no. No. Whew, cockatrice goes again. Wow, this is becoming a bit of a sludge. All right, cockatrice does not hit. I don't know if there's another way they can do this. They may have to retreat at this point. Their plan worked, but if they don't take it out this round, they're going to make a retreat if they win initiative next round. Because at this point, they're just fighting, and the numbers are going to be against them at some point. They've got 4 of these things dead. If they can get some distance on this thing, then I think they can take it. All right, here we go. Come on, armored foot. I guess that's a sign. Heavy foot? No. Okay, so all 4 of these would have to be 6s. No. All right, so I'm going to roll initiative now because at this point, they're going to try to run. And if they win initiative, they'll be able to run back. Unfortunately, only the elf would get to shoot his bow, so nobody's going to shoot. They're going to run as far as they can, turn around, and try to shoot the actually, let me just check something. I mean, they would know this from last time, how fast this thing was. I can't remember how fast a cockatrice is. I think they're pretty fast, though. That is to say that I don't know if we can actually get away from them, but I seem to remember running from them before. Of course, I may have been doing it wrong. Oh, no. Yeah, well, yeah, they have an 18 fly. So they can fly in here because there's enough space for a chicken to fly. So I'm going to say that, yeah, they won't be able to get away from them to shoot them with the... Oh, they only have to get far enough away to... Okay, no. That's what I did last time. Now I remember. Split move and fire. That's the important thing. What they need to do is actually... This is weird, but they need to lose initiative or win initiative and choose to go last. I'll explain it in a second. Let me just roll the initiative. Okay, they lose initiative, which means the cockatrice technically moves first, which means they can move second. And what they're going to do is they're going to move their full movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They go all the way back here, and they turn around with their crossbows and wait. The cockatrice doesn't move, obviously, because it would have moved then. But here's where we find out if it follows or not. There's only a 50% chance it's going to follow them. So 1 through 3, it follows. It does. Sadly, the cockatrice is not that smart. So the next round, it comes up, and when it gets to the halfway point of its move, or I guess right there, that's going to be fired upon by all of our archers. Now, if the archers can take it out, glory day. If not, then they're going to be back in that fight, which they really don't want to have. So let's go again. We're going back to heavy crossbow. 3 dice, 2 dice, 2 dice. And then I'll do the elf at the end. And again, 4 through 6 hits, and they get a +1. Nice. So the first guy got 3 damage against it, if you want to count it like that. Second guy, I just need 1 more high roll. I'll re-roll that. It was, well, actually, this is a 4, so that's it. So the thing comes ripping around the corner, and when it does, it is laid to rest with a whole bunch of crossbow bolts, and the 5th cockatrice drops to the ground like a big, fat, terrible chicken. Whew. The turn ends, and sadly, I must now make a random monster check. And there's a random monster. Ah, yes. To be a dungeon explorer. 12. Oh, boy. This is an ogre jelly. That is not good. All right, so where is this thing coming from? Well, first of all, what could really be coming from that other side of them? Let's see if they are surprised by it. I don't know, an ochre jelly could be surprised. They are surprised, so it's going to be within... Yeah, all right, it's 20 feet away. Let's look ogre jelly. This might be my first ochre jelly encounter in this game. I can't remember anything about them. Now, this is where I'm kicking myself for putting ochre jellies in the game. Well, my party's about to die after they just killed the... I'm hoping they can run from it, because jellies can't be that fast. Ochre jelly. Ooh, okay, they have a 3 movement, which means they actually can close on the party. So the ochre jelly actually surprises the party and uses its surprise move to move up on the party. All right, so let's see what happens. They're flat-footed. They see this ochre jelly there. It's interesting because the game talks about surprise. I'll read it to you. Surprise gives the advantage of a free move segment, whether to flee, cast a spell, or engage in combat. And then it says, if monsters gain surprise, they will either close the distance between themselves and the characters, or attack. So really it comes down to whether or not I think they can actually move that far and attack. I think they can. It's not their full movement. So the ochre jelly is going to get to attack. All right, so the ochre jelly attacks as 5 heavy foot. They can't really defend the magic users because they don't know this is happening, about to happen. So I'm going to roll randomly to see who it attacks. 7. Oh no, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This magic user right here, the nice, is going to be targeted. Sadly, she is lightfoot and they are heavyfoot. This is not going to be good for the magic user because, unlike the fighters, the magic user does not have that +1. So if she gets hit at all, that's going to be the end of her. Heavyfoot versus lightfoot, 1 die per man, 5 or 6 hits. They fight as 5. Oh, God. All right, so I'm rolling 5 dice here. If any of them are a 5 or 6, this magic user is out. No. Come on. No. 1 more die. Don't be a 5 or 6. Come on. Oh. All right. Sadly, she's taken out by the ochre jelly. Okay, so this ochre jelly creeps up on the party from behind and takes in the magic user. At which point the party spins around. You know, they're no longer surprised, obviously. And they're going to... I think they don't know what the hell it is, so they're going to retreat if they can. So we're going to roll initiative. They're going to retreat and try to shoot it with their bows, but of course the heavy crossbows need to be reloaded. So the plan is to retreat. They feel like where the cockatrice came from is pretty safe because there's that little wall there. And also, you know, unless some monster comes up around the corner. So I think the magic users are going to run at full speed. The fighters are going to also run, but they're not going to move quite as fast. And we're going to try to get down to that corner, and then they're going to reload their crossbows and hopefully attack this thing. Okay, they win. So the party is going to run. The magic users can get as far as they want, but the fighters can only go... Well, they can go 12, actually, technically, so they can get all the ways back to here. The ochre jelly only moves 3. 1, 2, 3. As it pursues. All right. Here's where we need to do a little meta, right? Because ochre jellies are one of those things that can't really be hurt by certain things. So does the party know that? Their first level, I'm going to say no. So what the first thing they're going to do is they're going to try to attack this thing normally. And when it does not work, we will then adjudicate as needed. You know, because this is the kind of thing I'd do if I was game mastering for other people. Sometimes when you're playing by yourself, you want to be too hard on yourself. So the ochre jelly actually took out the magic user that had the lantern, which means that they technically fell on the ground. There's a chance that lantern may have hit the ground and shattered. And since ochre jellies are vulnerable to fire, that might actually be a thing that could happen. So I'm going to give it a very small chance, but we're going to say there's a 2 in 6 chance that the lantern smashed on the ground, creating a pool of burning oil, which would then repel the ochre jelly. Just rolled into nothing. Oh, okay. 6. I'm going to take all these dice out. I actually can't see what I'm doing. But I rolled a 6, so no. That doesn't happen. It basically gets engulfed and goes out. All right, so what's going to happen now is the party runs back. They see how slow this thing is. They know they can basically... They don't want to sit there for... Actually, they might just run from the thing. They'll have to fight it eventually, but, you know, they want treasure. So they're actually just going to move down to this door. They're going to keep their eyes open, but they're going to take their next turn to move here. So that's actually the end of that turn. And they're going to search this room. And there is going to be treasure in here because it's a cockatrice. But let me just see if there's a wandering monster at the end of this turn. 1 or 2, there's a wandering monster. There is. Okay. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from here? It has to, right? It has to be in that room. So there's a monster in that room, and it's going to come through this door at the end of this turn. We'll figure that out in a second. Let me look at the cockatrice treasure, because you know I like treasure. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That helps a lot with the algorithm. Down in the description, you'll find links to many of the things I use to run these. So if you'd like to run your own solo game, you can find the links down there. You'll also find a link to my Discord server. You can join up over there, have fun with the conversations. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff over there. And finally, there's a link down there to my Patreon if you'd like to support the channels. I'll talk to you soon.